briefly, because none of us know, Sean, what's the most likely outcome now for the negotiations over a shutdown?
I think we shut down Tuesday night at midnight. My guess is that we're probably going close to the weekend. I will say this, having watched a lot of the quote unquote reporting this morning on this, I mentioned this earlier. If the people I'm talking to are correct, I know that the media is talking about apoplectic, effects of the government. They are clearly aware of that and trying to minimize any impact, which is why I think it could go longer than suspected. But I do believe that once they start firing and doing stuff, Democrats are going to get real nervous and cut a short-term deal, 30, 45 days, just to keep it back open.
Dan?
I think what's happening with Comey is only going to make the shutdown last longer.
Yeah, I agree with that. BB's got some charts he's holding up, very Perot-like, and he's speaking directly to the families of the hostages. Those are two things I can tell you. All right, we showed you the inflation numbers a little bit. There's been good and bad data on the economy that continues to be confusing. Yesterday, the president announced some more tariffs. Put up the Washington Post headline 110, please. Trump announces new tariffs on trucks, furniture, and pharmaceuticals. President Trump said pharmaceutical products may face tariffs of up to 100%, upholstered furniture 30%, and heavy trucks 25% starting on October 1. So there's a lot of debate about the data. Two sets of data. There's the economic data, which I said is confusing, and then there's the president's polling. His polling has not collapsed overall. His job approval continues as it has for 10 years to be within a pretty narrow band of floor and ceiling. But his approval rating on a variety of topics has gone down. And two, probably most notable, would be on both immigration, which of course has been his signature issue, where his numbers were pretty high. That's come down. I don't know exactly why. And then on the economy, his numbers have come down. And we've said this before, I think here. If his numbers are the way they are now, the Republicans will lose the House. That's just a fact. So, Dan, where are we on the economy? Where are we on the president's political support?
Well, I think on the economy, there's been some good news, and I'm sure Sean will reference the statistics here. And there's been some bad news. I think what's the most important thing is voters don't feel good right now. And so if you look at the critical blocks, what is it, 113 here, there have been several polls now that show that Latino voters are souring on Donald Trump. And the number one issue they keep citing over and over again is the economy. You look at young voters, number one issue, the economy. They keep saying they're frustrated. So with all this noise going on, I think we all agree the economy will always be the number one issue in our elections. Trump and Republicans have a problem. One of the things Trump said yesterday in his nonstop talking to the press was they're going to bail out farmers, is what he's now talking about. That he's going to use tariff money.
Didn't that come up on one of our?
Yes, yes, that if you listen to the morning meeting, Mr. Sean Spicer said, well, that was his first time that they've really admitted, again, because it happened in the first term, that this is hurting somebody. And you heard Democrats smartly come out and say, what about manufacturers? What about small businesses? I mean, this is the trap. So I think politically, this continues to be a problem. And if it doesn't start getting better by the spring, voters lock in. And then you add this noise and you got problems.
Sean, put on your hat that is half Tony Fabrizio and half Scott Bessent and give us your view. Where's the economy? Where's the president's poll standing?
Love both of those guys, but that's not an image I want in my head. I think that the White House, I believe correctly so. And again, so just to be clear, we got good GDP numbers yesterday, some great small business numbers the other day, some of the highest ever in terms of confidence in small business. So I think they surveyed 800 small businesses talking about their hiring, and small business is the engine and the backbone of the economy. I think that they truly believe, and again, this to me, I believe this as well. When these companies who are making massive investments and talking about building in the U.S., Apple talking about the glass in Kentucky, and all of this kind of stuff, I believe that their view is okay. There might be a couple months between now and then where there's some churn, but you look 12 months out, especially ahead of a midterm, we're going to be in really good shape. I share that view.